Hey, Sache Buckaroos, how the heck are you? I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer. The Beer Whisperer may show up later, but we're just going to play that by ear. Anyways, I digress. So I just finished out my first week after vacation, and it wasn't stressful per se. It was just tiring. Yeah, I'm just old and yeah, changing kegs, and I think I changed 12 kegs this week. Oh, mercy, no, work was fine. It was great to see folks again. I'm just tired. So I'm grateful that I do have the full weekend off this week, so I can just relax. I thought I'd do a video or two with you tonight since I'm off tomorrow. Let's see if I can make some adjustments here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Hit the wrong button. Darn it. Yep. Set that. Oh. I always tell myself, or I keep telling myself, well, I've got enough stuff open, so I'm not going to open up another one. But I decided to open one up. I've been dying to try this one since the day I bought it. It's a limited edition, 4-year old, 12th anniversary Rocktown, Arkansas single malt whiskey distilled from malt mash finished in a sherry cask. It is at 100 proof, this one is. Double distilled in our copper pot still from 100% malted barley. This whiskey was first aged in our own used bourbon barrels and finished for 35 months and a 500-liter recharged cherry butt. So there we go. Show you back there. I've been dying to try. I love the single malt category. Seems to be a hit and miss with a lot of whiskey lovers, but man, I don't know what it is about it that a lot of them just aren't getting. These single malts, I love that 100% malted barley. And I love the fact that American craft distillers are taking the single malt in directions that others haven't before. Oh, the nose on that is insane. Now, as far as a single malt whiskey is concerned, if we're talking about Scotch, Irish, even Japanese, etc., a 4-year-old single malt is a very young whiskey. But again, I do think the American category is a whole different animal. My first alcohol of the day, believe it or not, I never drink at work, even being at even working at a brewery. I pour beer, make cocktails all day. No, I stay. I want to stay alert. I never, every once in a while, have a beer after shift or even a drink, but I always make sure I always make sure the money's counted for before I start. But I usually just want to get home. So I get everything done so I can get home and then have my first one when I'm good and comfortable. I've got a nice solid 2 ounce pour in there, as you can see in my little baby glass. My little baby glass there. That nose is, oh, you definitely feel those sherry cask notes for sure. Some dark fruit notes, but I'm also feeling, wow, I feel like I'm picking up some maple, some very dark brown sugar, and I feel like I'm getting a walnut like note in there. Trying to just going back and forth between walnut and pecans. Wait a minute, I don't think that's pecan. I feel more like walnut. Wow, that's good. That's really fucking good. I will say, to me anyway, it feels a little bit on the sweet side for a single malt, but not necessarily in a bad way. I love the 100% malted barley. I love the chewiness of it. I love the body that it gives, and it accepts the wood differently than, say, a bourbon mash. So you do feel those usual suspects, right? You're going to get some vanilla in there. a few other things. But then here we've got the addition of that sherry cask, which is going to add some dark fruit notes, most likely. In this case, I feel like I'm picking up some very dark overripe plum, some dark cherry notes or black cherry notes. That, my friends, is just one enjoyable whiskey. Yeah, I was wanting something different tonight. I wanted that first pour to be pure, right? I am gonna have a Manhattan. In fact, I've already got it prepped. But one of the first, if I did even before the beer, I wanted to have that first. I wanted to have, wanted to feel that single malt whiskey. I wanted to relax and feel that nice pure whiskey note. Gosh, that's delicious, and that's way easy to drink out of 100 proof. I would love to have had this out of cask, in all honesty, but yeah, the 100 is nice. Um, wow. Hadn't been to Little Rock in about 14. I mean, sorry, since 2014. So it's been about 11 years. I remember at the time we kept talking about going back, and then other things just kept coming up, and it just a destination that kind of got forgot about. But now that we've both been back there again, I think, well, but probably more so myself than my wife, but I think we both would like to get back there fairly soon. Didn't quite, even with 3 days, I couldn't quite get everything done I wanted to get done. We only had 2 full days. Well, it's not like okay. Let me take that back. It's not that I want to get more stuff done. I just in the area I wanted to visit more places in that area we stayed at, and I just wasn't able to at that moment in time. And it was a little hot. I would like to be a little cooler, so because when we were staying within a half mile from a whole lot of things, and it would have been nice if I could have walked there, but it was about 100 degrees every day. So we get that temp just a tad cooler where she can go do her shopping and I can just slowly wander through the town. That would be awesome. I don't know that I need a full 3 days again, but I would like to have a couple. Uh, Gosh, that's nice. So I picked up a couple different whiskeys from them. One was using chocolate malt, the bourbon using chocolate malt, and the other was a Golden Promise. Um, and I only say that because I feel like I'm picking up a lot of malted chocolate notes in here. And I know this one doesn't use that; it's 100% malted barley, but I don't know if it's something they're doing that making me really feel those chocolate notes. Gosh, that's just delicious, man. That really is. Anybody watching, I encourage you to, if you want to, have a question or comment, I'll answer almost anything unless you're being a complete nutter ass hat. And I'm not going to give you a platform to be a dick. But other than that, if you want to be a decent human being, I will answer almost anything. I'm pretty much an open book anyway, much to the chagrin of some. I don't hold back, and I don't necessarily do that intentionally since I don't really have a filter. I mean, sometimes I will do these videos and I'll say things just because things are on my mind at that moment. I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve. I've always done that. And then people will remind me of what you said, what I said. It's okay. Well, let me go back and watch that. Not going to answer that till I know exactly what you're referring to. But sometimes the things are taken out of context, right? They want to take one line. Well, you said this, but they left out the rest of the paragraph. Well, yeah, I did say that one line, but when you put everything else in there, that one line means something different than what you're implying that it does, right? Uh, I will tell you, it was nice. I spent so many years doing things that I didn't really love, only because I wasn't sure that I could do anything else. I spent a lot of years in retail management because that's the path that found me, and I liked it for a period of time. But then near the end, there, I just got to where it was. I felt like it was just killing my spirit. So now, I mean, into this vacation, you always go, "Oh, fuck, vacation's over. I got to go back to work." And I said, "Well, vacation's over. It'd be nice if I had another day or two, but hell, I don't mind going back to work either." The truth is, I kind of enjoy going back to work. There's a lot of folks who were messaging me, uh, "Tell me you're coming back today. Tell me you're coming back today. Tell me you're coming back today." So, and all throughout the week, folks came in to visit me with me and talk about my vacation or ask about how it was. And it's nice to have be in an environment where people care about you. And I do love working in the beer industry again. I loved when I was a salesperson for Saddlebach. I really, really, really enjoyed that. And I only gave it up at the time, quite frankly, for health reasons. But then the owner sold the brewery anyway. It would have became something else. But I probably could have remained in that area or went to work for another brewery. I mean, I'd made a lot of contacts and friends. So yeah, I imagine I could have hung out. But then my life took a different turn. I had to have three surgeries done in 1 year, and I knew I was going to have more at some point. And I had an opportunity to, well, learn something else. I mean, take the skills that I've learned in various other positions in retail management and other things, and then use that same knowledge, but in a different way. So, and that was nice. I did that particular gig for 5 years, but again, at the end, things had changed. Everybody I knew had left and moved on, and the whole mission statement of the company seemed to have changed. They didn't seem to care about the things they used to care about. And then I looked into this gig, and man, it's just been amazing. And the people I'm working for, I mean, I'm 60 years old and I've worked for a lot of folks. I've never worked for people with the heart and integrity of the two people I'm working for right now. So I'm very grateful to be there. I'm very grateful that I had this opportunity because, like I've said before, I feel like I looked right into it. But it's also nice too because they've mentioned to me on more than one occasion how lucky they feel to have me there. So that's nice to be appreciative. People understand what you're doing, why you're doing it. That I have certain knowledge and they let me use it. Anyways, let me finish this up. I'm gonna go grab that Manhattan I told you about, and I'll be right back. All right, so using what I call my stubby coupe. I like this one. It's a nice glass. I have basically the same glass with just a longer stem, but I really like this one because I tend to spill a lot less. This one seems to hold more than others because a lot of them have been spilling up too close to the top. This one I got about right. Uh, I do want to make another cocktail for you. I don't have the right product right now, though. Well, let me rephrase that. I probably will make that cocktail this evening, but I'll do it a little bit different than what I want the final product to be. I guess I don't have the right gin that I want, but I haven't tried this idea using whiskey yet, so I may give it a shot just to see. So this particular cocktail, this Manhattan, if you will, I'm using the Rocktown single barrel cask Arkansas bourbon whiskey at 120. I've got 2 ounces of that, so about 3/4 ounce of the Grassotti. I assume that's how that's pronounced, Grassotti. Torino Vermouth de Torino at 18%. I actually bought this for the first time last year when we were on vacation. I really liked it. But since then, I've tried a few others, including the Antica, but I really, really like this one. Bitters. What did you use for bitters, Tom? I used a cherry bourbon bitters from Strongwater. It was part of a mixed set that I got for my birthday. I like to change up the bitter game in a Manhattan and an old fashioned. Gosh, that's delicious. The vermouth really does make a difference. I think for the longest time I didn't like sweet vermouth, or thought I didn't like sweet vermouth because I wasn't going far enough up the food chain. And once I started doing that, in fact, the first one that really got me to change my mind was the Dolan sweet vermouth. So, okay. So I was looking to go up the food chain. I didn't want to go too far. Okay, this is the price. This is the cheapest is here. This one is here. The expensive one is here. The Dolan had that mid price, so let's start there. Once I bought that one, but when I bought this one last year, I thought, okay, no, that really does make a difference. And I'm probably gonna stir some folks up when I tell you I actually prefer this one to the Antigua. As much as I like the Antigua, this one feels a little more mellow to me and a little drier. But there is, for me anyway, there is something special about the classic Manhattan because it is just so damn simple, right? It is whatever whiskey you're using. It is this vermouth, or it's a good sweet vermouth, and it's bitters, right? It's just a very simple cocktail, and I've always been of the mind that the best cocktails are the simple cocktails. And I found I really, really, really really, 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 really enjoy making cocktails. Even at work when they're for other people, when I make something, even if it's one that I didn't design, but when I make something and give it to a customer and they tell me how delicious it is, I really feel good about myself. When it's one I design, well, I feel a little better. But even those that I don't, when it because it's not always just about the ingredients; it's how you put them together that makes a cocktail special. Right? It's like making food. We can there can be five of us with exactly the same ingredients and exactly the same recipes. But the way we put them together, everybody's food is going to taste different. So it's not always about the ingredients; it's how you apply them. Think a lot of folks don't get that, right? Oh, just put this. No, it's about layering those flavors, putting the right thing in at the right time, getting it all to work together. Makes a difference, man. It all makes a difference, man. Anyways, I digress. Oh, man. Was really tired tonight. Sometimes the alcohol can take you in a couple different directions, right? Sometimes you come home. In this case, I came home, ate something real fast, took a shower, came back out here, and got everything ready to do this. And sometimes that first drink's okay. I'm done. I got to go to bed. And sometimes it revitalizes you, right? That's kind of what it's doing to me this evening because I wasn't sure, to be honest, as tired as I was, but Now I've had that, that single malt and drinking this Manhattan. Now I'm feeling good. I feel like I can make it a little bit longer than before I had the alcohol. I know it's not supposed to work that way, but it does. Oh, jeez, whiz and bacon, and that is delicious. Yeah, I typically start feeling really the urge for a Manhattan as it gets colder as we get into fall. But I was really wanting one tonight, and I've actually bought this vermouth a few weeks back and hadn't opened it until tonight because I had been using the antique and I got just a tiny bit left, but I just was really wanting to revisit this one. Now I remember why I like it. I feel like the presence is a little softer. Maybe that's why I like it. I feel like it's there, but it lets the whiskey really shine, especially if you're using a good whiskey. So anyway, Slancha, I had a beer I could have with you, but I feel like I probably talked long. Nobody cares anymore, Tom. So we're gonna wrap this one up. I may do another video later. I may not. Who knows? It is Saturday night after all. And hell, at this point, it's already a quarter to midnight. So if I do another video, it'll actually be Saturday morning. Friday's gonna be gone if I come back. It'll be early Saturday morning. We're gonna play it by ear anyway. As I have Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor with the man, all around good